Martin, good morning. It's Marc here from the Lego Room.
Hello, Marc.
Hi there. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been great to great to reach out to you, and I've been excited to show you what I've created, my Lego Star Wars movie mock.
I'm quite excited to see it. I've seen bits of it on other videos, but here it all is. So take us through it. Let's start chronologically. Let's start with the episode 4.
Okay. So what I've been doing with each of these scenes is trying to pick either my favourite scenes from the movie or movies, or scenes that I think I can do a good job of building. And with this one, episode 4, the Death Star trench run is awesome. So probably so excited. I remember the first time I watched it, the adrenaline was going, and just the explosions and the way they filmed the special effects, etc. So absolutely love this scene from episode 4. So I was very excited to build it. Mm-hmm. And actually, this is the first time that I've ever done anything in Lego in this scale. I've only really done minifigure scale before this. So it was a new challenge, but it was really, really great fun to do, because I found with the greebling that I'll zoom in for you now so you can see all the detail. With the greebling, it was literally got a big pile of my Darkstone grey bricks, and everything I stuck on worked. So it was great. It was really good fun. So I kind of picked Darkstone grey and black as the colour scheme for it, and then using the ships to kind of give it a bit of life, a bit of pizzazz. But yeah, literally my huge pile of Darkstone grey just all worked for the greebling. So there's all sorts in here. I've got car chassis, I've got grates, railings, fence pieces, slopes, curves, you name it, it's in there, and it all kind of works. So that was really, really good fun to build.
Isn't it amazing? Because I've been playing with greebling as well, and you always think, oh, is this going to work? And what is it going to... And then somehow it just does. It just seems to add, even though it's nonsense, different varied pieces everywhere, but somehow it just gives more realism to what you're creating.
Yeah, I think it's the small pieces. The smaller detail you can go into, the more overall detail you create. And that's actually quite hard to do in Lego, because we naturally try to build bigger, or I do anyway. So yeah, the greebling is just great, isn't it? Really good fun. So
what we're seeing here,
we've got an X-wing, got a TIE fighter, TIE Advanced, and a Y-wing. So the X-wing is a set. There was a range of sets a few years ago that came with a planet and a minifigure, and that's the X-wing version.
Right.
The TIE fighter is kind of my own design. I did look at what mini scale TIE fighters Lego did. So I looked at a few manuals, but I just kind of did my own thing in the end just to get the right shape. So one thing I'm really fussy about, and I don't always get it right, but it's the scale. So I wanted to make sure that the X-wing and the TIE fighter and the Y-wing worked in terms of their size compared to each other. So I made a kind of a mini TIE fighter, because the Lego versions were a little bit bigger than this. But this was really good fun to build. Quite easy. It's hardly any pieces, so it's funny how things come together once you realise the shape you want to create. It's just then getting the pieces and figuring out how to get them going.
And it just rests there. I noticed that.
It just rests there. So I tried to give it a bit of as if it was coming down over the edge of the top. To be honest, though, it's a bit of a pain, and it constantly falls off. So I might need to find a better way to attach it. And the Y-wing, this actually came, the Lego magazines you can get in the UK that come with kits every so often.
Yeah.
That's one of those kits from years ago. It probably has a set number, but I couldn't find out what it was. So I don't know what set number it is. Maybe one of your viewers will know and can tell me. But yeah, so that is a set. It's really just the TIE fighter that's my own one.
And the entire Death Star, obviously.
And the entire Death Star, of course. Yes, yeah. The lasers, they move around, so they're on those.
Yeah.
What's the words for them? You know what they are. And then, so originally the whole thing was going to be the greebling, but I thought that might be a little bit too much greebling, and B, because that was using up a lot of the pieces. So I'd never really planned this, but I thought, what happens if I leave myself a bit of space here and I could do something else? So I stopped this bit here. This is obviously just a cube inside with the supports, and then I had the space to create this little corridor scene. And this is, I'm sure you'll recognise this. This is
the scene where Chewie is pretending to be a prisoner, and Luke and Han are infiltrating the Death Star. Right,
yes. Do you know what? I posted a picture of this on Reddit, and someone said, why don't you give this stormtrooper shorter legs? Because it's Luke.
Because it's Luke.
I should do that. I should do that at one point.
Do they do the medium legs in white? You know, the new adolescent ones? Because if they do, that would be perfect for that.
That's what I need. Yeah, I need to look that up. I've got plenty of them, but definitely no white ones. I might have to go on Britlink. So one of the good things with this is, if I build something, I tend to put a picture on Facebook or Reddit, and I get some really good ideas and really good feedback. So they're never complete because I'm constantly adding to them or improving them. So that's one of the good things about the community that we're in. It's very supportive, and people are happy to give their ideas and help out.
That's very true. I've experienced this myself. Actually, I quite like what you've done with the sort of light strips at the top.
Yes. Yeah.
Which are really look like what we see in the sets of the Death Star.
Yes. So this is a whole chunk here. So this is sort of built sideways using the snot technique. And I'll show you a little secret. So if I take this bit off, you can see that it never quite went the whole length of the building. So I had to come up with a way to fit them in so it finishes off with tiles and it fits quite nicely. And this part here just happens to cover it over. There's one of my Easter eggs. That's really just covering over and showing all my dirty secrets.
Well, it's not a dirty secret because sometimes you have to do it.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's called a gonk droid. I think it's a gonk droid, the one that runs around the Death Star and beeps at people.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. My Star Wars fan credentials might be.
You're Star Trek. You know everything about Star Trek. Though.
I'm more of a Star Trek fan, but I do enjoy Star Wars.
This door here, these are just the grated bricks. I spent almost a day trying to figure out a good way of doing the door, and in the end, it was so easy. It doesn't need to be too much detail. It's not a key part of the scene, and it's just 3 columns of grated 1x2s.
Oh yeah, now we see it when you're quite close, because all I could see from a distance was just pure black. But no, it's very simple.
But I often find that sometimes something that I think is going to be really hard is easy, and something that I think is going to be easy is really hard. It's only once you get into building that you realise what you're dealing with. That's the challenge and the beauty of Lego, I think.
No, absolutely. So that's episode 4. It's like we're slowly moving towards...
Let's move over into Empire Strikes Back. So Empire is definitely my favourite of all the Star Wars movies, and Hoth absolutely is. If I could pick one scene of Star Wars that I would watch a million times, it's the Hoth base attack. I'm just going to stand up. So this one... So with my whole mock, I've given myself a rule that all the scenes have to be on 48 by 48 plates, either 1 or 2. Obviously, this one's 2, and the other 2 are 1 each. So as you know, Captain, I did spend quite a while last year building a gigantic Hoth scene.
Oh yes, I did see that, and I regretted not being able to see it in the flesh. It was absolutely amazing.
Yes, yeah. Well, unfortunately, I had to, because I wanted to build this. I recycled a lot of the pieces, but obviously that meant I had a lot of white pieces to do another mini Hoth. So this to me is a mini Hoth, given that my other one was so much bigger. One of the things I didn't have in my bigger Hoth was an AT-AT, because my other Hoth was UCS scale, and I couldn't build an attack that was in that scale. So this AT-AT, this is the original one from Lego. I think I'm going to try and remember the set number 4842. Probably got that wrong, but anyway, it's the first one they did, and I really like the shape of it, and it's got the old grey, the old dark grey, and it's just a really nice set.
Oh, so it's a pretty old set if it had the original colours.
Yeah, yes. So not the original that you and I would remember from Space Vintage, but the kind of the new original when the Star Wars sets first came out about 15 years ago.
Right. I didn't know there were more colour variations.
So this, I mean, as far as I know, I'm not too close to these, but I'm pretty sure this is a unique colour that came out with the first round of Star Wars sets that wasn't previously available, and I don't think has been since. So if I find any of these in my massive boxes of loose pieces, I'm like, yes, I found another one, and I keep it in a separate box because I think they're so nice.
From a distance, to be honest, it looks, yes, it is. It's not medium stone grey, it's not dark stone grey, it's something in between.
You can see that is the current dark stone grey that we were at, and then that is the what I call the old Star Wars dark stone grey. So
I see,
slightly subtle difference.
When you put them side by side, it's very obvious. There is a difference, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the AT-AT, and then of course lots of white bricks, white tiles, to make the snow effect. To me, I like to see snow smooth, so I like to use the tiles for it. And then I've got the studs showing just where the AT-AT is broken the snow.
It's very effective, actually. I think it works really well to give that sort of illusion of disturbing the smooth snow as you walk along it.
Yes. The other thing I've done with all of these scenes is, so not only does everything have to be on a 48 plate, but everything's at least one stud and one plate high. And that gives me the chance, if I need to do things like I've sunk his feet in a bit more to give further illusion of depth and so on. And again, with the trench here, I've eaten into it again to give the kind of a bit of perspective onto it all.
Oh, that's very nice, yeah. It works really well.
So I'll take a look at the trench now. So I've used the white grill tiles just to differentiate from the kind of snow as to where the rebels would be walking. And then, lots of rebel troopers in the trench, ready to get absolutely smashed by the AT-AT.
I know, brave but futile, isn't it?
Yeah. Although they do have this guy, that's Luke, with his saber, so he might help swing the odds in their favour. You never know.
Mm.
And then just as we get towards the hangar, this is a fixed door. So in the other half that I built, the door opened and closed with power functions, but not this time. This is purely for show.
I know you'd work quite hard to make it work, as actually, if I remember very well.
I did, yeah. Legola Maniac gave me some ideas in the end to help me do it because I couldn't get it quite right. So he was really helpful. That was really cool. And then, some mountain work. So this is really a combination of slopes and tiles, and every stud I would make sure would be covered off to give the illusion of the snowfall. At one point, I didn't follow this through, but at one point I was thinking with all these scenes, I could make it so that they join up, as in there'd be a corridor that went through. So if this off scene was on the other side of the trench one that we just saw, the corridor in the Death Star would match up perfectly to this.
Right.
So I do have that option for other things I might build towards a scene. So you could have a minifigure that could walk all the way through all the Star Wars story. Maybe might do something with that. I'm not sure. And then just coming around here, we've got We've got a small weaponry area and a power droid, and then just a couple of minifigures. Got Leia talking to the general. Of course, we've got R2 and C-3PO. So for me, the biggest hero in Star Wars is R2-D2. So he's always there. He always saves the day. I was a bit sad in the final movie, Episode 9. He didn't really get much screen time. I thought it was a bit of a bigger send off. I think BB-8's taken his throne. BB-8's cool as well, but R2-D2 is my man. He's special.
Well, he's the original, and he's always so rude. They have to bleep him out.
Yes, absolutely. And then this is it's quite hard to see. This is quite small, but a bit of a medical bay. So there is a Hoth medical set that you can buy, and I've got a couple of those. And for my other Hoth scene, I kind of crashed three together to build a big version. This is obviously a smaller version of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I could just about see if you just go a little bit there to the right, a bit more. There we can see that's Luke in there.
That's right. Yeah, Luke's in there. So Luke is here. There's another kind of. Some people will say this is a mistake, but obviously I've got Luke in the medical chamber, and I've got Luke outside on the Tauntaun as well. So he's doubled himself somehow.
It's poetic license.
When you're building your own things, you can do what you want, can you? That's what I think. I
noticed an absence of Han Solo and Chewie in this one, though.
Yes. So that's a very good point. So Han Solo in his Hoth coat. I have the minifigure somewhere, but if I can find it, I would be a very happy person. I just don't know where it's got to. So one day I'll find him, and he will be placed on this scene. Chewie. I've got a Chewie in Endor that we're moving on to now.
Right.
And I probably do have another Chewie somewhere. So when I find Han and Chewie will be added to Hoth for sure. You're quite right.
Excellent.
Now, just while we're on the subject of Han, obviously Han does feature in Endor. So here, I don't know if you can see, we've got Leia.
Yeah.
And we've got Rebel Trooper. So I didn't have a Han, and I looked on eBay to buy a Han minifigure, and I was so shocked at how much he goes for. I think it was like £30 for the Endor Han on his own, and I can't spend £30 on a minifigure.
That's crazy. He was in the Imperial Shuttle set for the stolen one. And was that the only place that he was in?
It might be. I guess you're right. I guess it's where the certain figure only appears in a set. It's obviously harder to get hold of, so therefore they command much more value. But yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe he only appeared in that set.
Yikes.
I need to look on Britlink a bit more, actually, because Britlink's far more effective to purchase minifigures normally. So I will. Again, I'll pick him up at some point. But yeah, Han is missing from this one as well. I do have a Chewie though, so Chewie is. There he is.
Yep.
So this is the scene where I think Han and Leia think they're done for because the ATST kind of comes up to them and out pops Chewie and some Ewok friends, and they know that they're going to be okay. And that's obviously the bunker that they then go into to blow up, which then makes the shield around the Death Star come down, so the rebels can attack the Death Star 2. That's quite a good scene. And I just love Endor. I play quite a lot. I play the Battlefront Star Wars games on PlayStation, and the Endor levels on those are just so good. I absolutely love them. So I always knew I wanted to build an Endor, and the good thing about it is that it brings a bit of colour. So when you're building Star Wars, and probably a lot of space, you're predominantly working in greys and dark greys and blacks and whatever. So having to do a kind of a surface planet scene, I can use some greens and some browns. And as I move on to the prequels and the sequels, there's a lot more variety in colours that I can work with. So that's going to be pretty cool.
No, I like the vegetation that you've done. I like how you stack up the leaves to make a plant.
Yes, yeah. I mean, these are just the. Sorry, there we go. So these are just the standard Lego flowers without the petals on.
Yeah.
And stack them up. Some sort of standard tree leaves. These pieces, I don't know what they're called, but I found them in a pick-a-brick wall about a year ago, and I filled up a whole pot, and it was a really piece I did because I had no use for them until now, and they look quite effective when you kind of stack them up like bean plants.
Exactly, yeah, it works really well.
I do need to so that the floor at the moment is a bit plain, so I will at some point add some detail to the flooring, probably some different colours of brown, try and just get a little bit more foliage going on. It just feels a little bit open at the moment.
Yeah, a bit too flat, I guess. Probably, maybe you need to raise some parts and lower others.
This ATST, this is the Rogue One version of the ATST. So it's not the official Endor version, but it's one I really like. I just like the shape they've built with it, yeah, that's probably my favourite of the ATSTs. I don't own any others, but I looked into them quite a lot because when I was kind of looking at this, I was thinking, well, what do I want my AT-AT to be like? This was the one I already had, so it worked out. But I was at one point looking to see if I could get hold of any of the more vintage ones, but didn't need to in the end.
No, it looks pretty good. I mean, actually, why not? I mean, it's about the same time period.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you're quite right. Yeah, it's all not many years apart, is it?
So, what was out of these 3 dioramas? Which one was the most complex one for you to do?
Ooh, so Hoth was the easiest, but only because I've got experience in building Hoth. So
exactly,
yeah.
And it's your favorite, I know, but
yes. Probably the most complex. Even though I said earlier it was like nice and easy to build up the Griebling, the trench one probably is the most complex. Because if you look at Endor, it's quite simple. It's a flat board. There's a bit of vegetation on the left and right, and the bunker. The bunker was hard though, I've got to say, because I hopefully you can see this okay. So all the walls are angled, so even the inside walls here, and it took me quite a long time to figure out how to do that and make it look okay. Again, I'm going to show you a horrible, dirty secret, but under here it's not particularly pretty. So literally, it's just the bricks needed just to hold things up. So I haven't done any interior detail or anything. It's never intended to be a play set. So I've only ever sort of worked on what the outside looks like.
Right. Well, you could, I mean, really, when you think about it, it opens up so easily. You could work it a little bit to put something inside.
I could, yes. Yeah, there's space, isn't there? So you can essentially have, I don't know, the checkpoint for the security before people can go down into the base, maybe.
And maybe like stairs to make it look as if it's going downstairs or something. Yes,
very good. I've got like a handwritten list of improvements to make to all of my scenes, so I will add that on. That's a very good suggestion, Captain. I like it. That's getting bigger though. This is getting longer.
Yes,
always the way.
So how long did it take you to do all these?
In terms of the time I can spend building Lego, I think everyone would say I don't get as much time as I want to build. So I have to build these in between other stuff. So I might get, I don't know, a couple of hours a week here, 3 or 4 hours a week there, half an hour on the evenings and so on. So I pick away at them. So it's quite hard for me to say exactly how many hours. However, I remember starting the trench run probably at the end of March. I think the end of March. Yeah, end of March. And then by kind of April time, it was ready. So it's roughly a month picking away at it. Hoth was really quick just because of my prior experience. That was probably sort of 3 weeks. Endor probably took a bit longer because actually originally planned to make it have much more detail. So I was going to have a hill here. I was going to potentially build big trees come up here and have the scene where the Ewoks bash the AT-ST with the tree trunks, where they chop the rope. So I spent quite a long time drawing things out for that one. And in the end, I just went for the kind of the simple version that you see here. But so that I probably spent most time thinking about that one before building it. Overall, though, these 3 scenes, and I have built episode 1 as well. That's probably 4 to 5 months' work for me. Just because I can't spend hours at a time doing them. It literally is picking things off as and when.
But I guess if you take your time as well, then you get to think and solve other problems because it just percolates in your mind.
That's right, yes. Yeah, you can, sometimes if you get stuck with these things, stepping away from it for a day or two is the way to solve it. You kind of think, I could try this, or actually I'll scrap that idea entirely and do something different. So as you know, I'm going to be building scenes from all the movies, so all 9 of the Skywalker movies, and then Solo, Rogue One, and then probably do something for the Mandalorian too, which I think is really, really good.
You're going to need a bigger table, aren't you?
I'm going to need a bigger table. Yeah, so I've worked out. So when I've done the prequels, I can have the prequels and this. But when I start doing the sequels, I am stuck. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to kind of, I don't know, get rid of the sofa in the lounge or something. We would be very happy with that. But yes, but that's, by the time I've done all those, this is a year to another 18 months worth of work for sure. And it's really good because I'm very enthusiastic about it. So whereas last year building my big Hoth scene, it took me all year, there were times where I'm like, right, I've got some Lego time. What should I do? Oh, it's Hoth. Whereas now I've got a lot of variety throughout the year. And even if I'm halfway through one and kind of get interested in something else with it, I can then start the next one at the same time. So it's quite exciting, quite a big, exciting project to have at the moment.
So tell me, man, you do say you are got a plan on all the others, but I know you've done episode 1 already, haven't you?
I have done episode 1. In fact, I can show you that very quickly. Just hang on a second. Oh, I was very brave and I've lifted my entire Marc with one hand on the table. So let me come down here. So episode 1. So I've started to work on the prequels. So I've done the Phantom Menace. So this is the scene, my favourite scene in the Phantom Menace, which is the scene where Darth Maul enters the hangar and then ensues one of the best lightsaber fights in the Star Wars movies. So it's really good. So I think this is called the Battle of Naboo. I think this is what they call it. So great fun again, kind of picking what scene to use. I actually got hold of a still from the movie and generally copied bits from it to build this. Mm-hmm. It's not accurate at all because the door's not closed in the movie and the space I'm showing here is a lot smaller than the real thing, but it's got all the right parts. So we've got figures. I foolishly, when I filmed my video, if anyone watches it on my YouTube channel, I forgot to add Darth Maul's horns. And also I gave Qui-Gon Jinn a blue lightsaber instead of a green one, and for some Star Wars fans that's almost a crime.
That's sacrilege, isn't it? Yes.
Yes. So I did get shall we say told off in inverted commas for doing that when I posted it somewhere. But it's fixed now, so that's the main thing.
You have rectified it for this interview. That's great.
Yes, absolutely. So we've got the figures, we've got some parts of battle droids because they're all broken up by the time this fight starts to take place, and just tiles again. Lots of tiles. I love tiles. I need tiles. You can't have too many tiles. That's what I think. So this is a bit like the Death Star scene. This is multi-part. So that's the main scene, and then around the back we have some pod racing.
Pod racing.
Yeah.
In microscale.
Yes. So, yes, microscale again. Pod racing is pretty cool. This is new, so I only added this archway in yesterday. Again, it was a suggestion. Thought, yeah, good idea. I wanted to do it in the Darkstone tan, but I just don't have the parts. So I think it looks okay in the light tan. It kind of works. It just adds a bit more detail onto this scene. Otherwise, it was just literally the cliff face and the flat ground and the pods. So I think it's okay. And yeah, the pods. So they are sets. So again, this is one that comes with the planets from a few years ago in the minifigure, and this one was they're called polybags. You know, where you get the little kits in the bags. I think I got it off eBay. I think it might have been one of the 20th anniversary polybags to support the sets they bought out a couple of years ago. So that's Anakin, and that's Sebulba. So, and at some point, I don't know. So if I ever get to the point with my other scenes where I need some more tan tiles, I may swap this out for just general studded plates. I think because that'll still look okay. If I don't need any tan tiles for anything else, then I'll keep it as it is.
You could make it a bit more rugged, though, couldn't you? Because
yes, I suppose what I thought you're right, absolutely. So I've tried to do some of the sort of speed things there.
It's just seeing right, that made me think, well, you could have a bit more sort of accidental terrain everywhere. To make it a bit more, because they are floating above it, aren't they?
Yes, that is true. I suppose my thought process was because this is mini scale, so the viewer is standing right back. Would you see much detail? But you are right. I mean, I could easily swap some of these out here for studded pieces and so on. That is good. Again, that's going on the list. This is right from this interview, Captain. I'm going to be so busy.
You're never going to be finished. No.
Yes, that's the problem. That is true, though. I mean, to me, you do never finish these things because there's always something different you could do, always something new to add on. Someone's going to see it and say, "What about this?" And you go, "Oh yeah, why didn't I think of that?" So that's a good thing.
And then your skills change. So
yeah.
I'm sure that once you finish episode 1, there might be things in episode 4 you think, well, this technique could work there or something. I mean, I know that's the way I think as well. So that's why it's never really over.
And in a way, we can't ever get it wrong because if it's wrong, we change it. And, you know, stuff that we build is never wrong. It's just the way that you've built that particular thing. But as we say, it's always an ongoing process. And the way that people give ideas and the sharing and all the social media channels that we've got now to do it, it's really good. It's like a big community and everyone's excited by what you build and everyone's happy for you and everyone wants to help out. So I love it. That's why I keep doing this kind of stuff.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Well, it's been a lot of fun. And
so that was really, I really enjoyed that, Captain. Thank you so much for reaching out. It's been great.